So guys, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's one of my favorite topics because I'm a data freak. It's like they have the data nerd t-shirts, and we love everything about data. We love control the data because we believe that data is power, and what our company is doing, we build predictive analytics software for different companies, and we mostly specialize in mobile applications and act as interim CTOs and technical co-founders in many, many startups across Germany and LA, Cali, and in Latin America. And one of the companies I've managed to build, it's actually one of my favorites with Allianz Group. It's called Mailbox. So before we jump about what Mailbox is doing, let me present you a bit my first interaction with the new Relic. Yeah? So back in 2013, when I was technical co-founder in one of the startups, I went to San Francisco. It was Mobile Apps World 2013, as far as I know, and New Relic was not so big at that time. And we saw these guys with data nerd t-shirts. And I had experiences with Splunk, and we came to the guys and asked them, so what are you guys doing? And the sales team was presenting that they are getting the real-time data, that it's application performance monitoring software, and it's very good optimized for the mobile. And we had really tough times with this mobile application because it was running in emerging markets in Africa, in Asia, and in Latin America, where the connection is not the best, and we had to collect a lot of data. And we need to actually understand what's happening with our users, because users are using the application, then they start traveling, and then we start losing the users. And the CEO was getting crazy, calling me in the middle of the night, what's happening with our product? You promised to deliver it? So we said, no, we go through to the new Relic, and we became one of the first customers back then. So, and we start finding amazing stuff. So we understood that the emerging markets, the mobile networks, and the connection is not the best, of course. And we start getting real data and start optimizing the product. And that's where I start sleeping well after that, eventually, because we could deliver an experienced version of the product and started working. So now about the Mailbox. So back in 2016, Allianz had a product, which is called Al-Secure in Netherlands. And they wanted to launch it into the German market and also in Thailand, which is also considered an emerging market. And they applied to us, so the former managing director applied to me and my team to become an interim CTO in this project and also in the whole company to actually deliver this and other applications. So the main meaning of the Mailbox is to collect the user's data during the driving behavior process, especially in Germany, because you have these crazy autobahns where you don't have the speed limits, and I love it myself. And of course, the car insurances are super huge in Germany. So in order for the car insurance companies like Munich Re, like Allianz Insurance, Ergo, and other big players, they need to understand the user behavior in order to adjust the annual premium package of the insurance sold to the customers. And that's closely related to the predictive analytics, because the more data we start collecting, the better the underwriting departments and the guys who then respond to the claim services of the insurance companies can decide what premium package should be sold to the customers. That actually was quite tough because we know the data privacy regulations in Germany and all the stuff, but it's also very useful for the insurance companies and also for the customers, all of you, because everybody is paying equally, but maybe one is a very good driver, maybe one is a very bad driver, and he's driving drunk all over the Autobahn the whole day, so it's not fair that you guys are paying the same price. So Allianz was one of the first companies that had this idea to adjust the claim insurance of the car insurances. And it's, of course, a telematics solution. But again, taking into considering the regulations in Germany, you can't put the OBD box into the car. So we had this crazy idea to use a smartphone as a device and put it in the car and start collecting your data. Smartphone is a good idea we had, but OK, what if people are not using iPhones? What if somebody just brought some new Chinese Android phone from China and he started using it? So what's about GPS connection, about network connectivity, and all the stuff around? So we started implementing telematics solutions. So we developed our own SDK, which started collecting all the waypoints all around. And we implemented after start and stop mechanism because some drivers were just forgetting to put on start tracking my car. And it was really tough because you need to differentiate the autobahns, the highways, from another trucks. And we know that in Germany, the cycling roads are very popular. You have one of the most perfect transportation systems in the world. So how do I differentiate that you are guys not using trams, but you are using your new Audi? Yeah? So that was tough for me. So we got connection with the Nokia here in Berlin, because they have this beautiful SDK, which was integrated into the Mailbox application, to start understanding whether you are really driving in your car and so on and so forth. So after 1 month of test project, we already had 35K registered users, about 150 million waypoints collected, and 1.6 million kilometers collected only in Bayern area, because we launched the first test project in the south of Germany, Bavaria. And then I started feeling the real pain, because the application started messing around. So we had a lot of load on the AWS infrastructure. Also, we are certified partners by them. And we wanted to understand what's happening with the users, because the application stack that we were using, it's more than 40 libs and SDKs. We had AWS, Docker, and Ubuntu. We didn't have New Relic by then, but we had all this. And we had Kafka, Rabbit, message queue, messaging, so all the new stuff that you can include in the mobile application development. And obviously, one of the main issues we had is Kafka was going down like hell. The message queue was not working. The data points were killing the database. We migrated from Hadoop to Cassandra, then started understanding what's happening there. But we were blind. And that time, my managing director thought, so fixed up. It's going crazy. People are using it. So German users love it. We are launching it in Thailand. So what should we do? And I said, I know these folks from 2013. I know you don't like the idea of buying external monitoring service because you are crazy about data privacy and so on and so forth. But let's try them. OK, then we got connected to the New Relic folks in Germany and started discussions with you back by then. So what happened? So we had different iterations, different team members, and so on and so forth. And obviously, we needed to get the expert services from New Relic to understand and how to optimize the application software. So what should we track? How should we track? What if the guys enter the tunnel? What if the GPS connection changes? What if the network connection changes? That's all the issues. We don't have the perfect coverage here out of the city. So what if for the next 20 minutes you don't have a connection? Because you can't start sending the waypoints every second. And you have huge issues with using the data of the phone. The battery goes down if you start pinging or implementing the heartbeat. So we need to implement a synchronization. OK, how do I implement a synchronization? What if application goes down and I cannot store anything in my local database? And that's the all tough solutions we had to make. So telematic solution with all bells and whistles is a constant firefight. Yeah, you don't know what to do. And especially if you have gone live and realized that scaling can still be an issue in 2017. That's what you were saying. And we started implementing New Relic. We started analyzing points of failure, bird's eye view, and real-time monitoring of the complex systems. But we went even farther. So we started reverse engineering what you guys are doing on the HTTP request side. And we said, OK, why do we use some external framework or some application that starts getting the waypoints? So these guys are having 8 minutes cache in their software. So I don't need actually any store data or SQL storage in the phone. So let's start storing their waypoints and then sending them out. And as soon as the guys get the connection again, the phone, we just get the connection from New Relic. So this way, we optimized first the data usage, second the battery usage, and we don't have to debug and implement and maintain another application software. So that's what I don't have a picture, unfortunately, but some of the sales folks from the New Relic have it. So we created a Pentagon Wall in the Allianz Group, and it's 60 monitors in which we have from different areas that we launched the Mailbox application, different countries, and it's all divided into this kind of dashboards. So if you have seen the movie War Games from 1985, so it's like that. You have a big wall full of screens. On the screens, we have Darth Vader from the Star Wars, which is kind of the New Relic ambassador in us, and we monitor everything else there. So we have all the message queues. We have all the page down times, top database operations by throughout, web transactions, update score, blah, 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 and all the stuff that's happening. So, and this is not the end. So by understanding that we can now analyze the data, we started optimizing the whole infrastructure. So we've got connected with the AWS folks. We got special instructions from them how to install Kafka and all the stuff, how to optimize it, what message queues we have to solve. So we stopped the blind development because we had quite a good engineering team, but the engineering was blind before using New Relic. And that really optimized the application performance. So what we got now, that application is running flawlessly in 3 countries. It's Netherlands, Germany, and Thailand, and we don't experience any downtimes because we really know what to trace and how to optimize the product. But we didn't stop there. So as you know, the predictive analytics is one of the things we like to do. So we started using this data and also the data that we collect from the mobile application to start predicting the driver behavior on the road. So for a future time of 1 year, and that's what Nazi was telling they're also trying to implement, we can definitely predict the driver behavior on the edge of Autobahn of Germany. So that's what's one of the projects of pride that we had. My presentation was short today and you can find me for any questions regarding predictive analytics or the New Relic implementation after the presentation. So